Hi friends, welcome back to my channel, Breathe and Budget. If you're new here, my name is Taryn, and here we talk all about budgeting, intentional spending, and the way our finances impact our lifestyle. Today, we are back at it with paycheck number 2 for October, which is my husband's first paycheck of the month. His net income came to $2,750 after taxes and pre-tax contributions, so that's what we're working with today. Let's start with our fixed expenses for the week. So we have our solar at $199, Kindle Unlimited for $12, Peloton for $44, Google Photos for $2, Spectrum Internet for $116, and then the gas company at $42. So that actually totals $415 for our fixed expenses for just this week. So that leaves us with $2,335 to work with. So that's where we hop into our variable expenses, because we obviously still have to be able to buy groceries and put gas in the car, and we do a lot for some personal spending money. So we're going to set aside $350 for groceries, $250 for gasoline, and $175 for personal spending, and that leaves us with $1,560 to allocate towards our high priority sinking funds. Every month I set aside money for things I know will eventually come up, even if we don't need that money right away. That's exactly what a sinking fund is, preparing now for those future, expected, or unexpected expenses. So here's how we're dividing things up this week. So water and trash, they always get $20 each. These are not billed monthly, but I like to have the money ready when that bill populates. For vehicle related expenses, my goal is to get our vehicle maintenance up to $3,000. We met that first goal of $2,000. Now we want to get to $3,000. So we're going to add $200. And then to further prepare ourselves financially for the expenses that having vehicles come with, we are going to put $70 to vehicle registration, $10 to roadside assistance, $80 to the Allstate insurance, $25 to car detailing, which I think is really important to keep your cars looking really nice in case you do wind up selling it later, and then $25 towards my husband's car, which generally goes to car upgrades or like OnStar. For house-related sinking funds, again, we have a home maintenance just like we have a vehicle maintenance. We are rebuilding this one after we had spent a little bit of it, and we're going to put $350 this month. And then earthquake insurance, $75, home warranty, $30, pest control, $50, our septic, $20, and then yard maintenance, $100. We are going to be adding trees to our property, and I'm really loving what the California pepper tree looks like right now. We went to the Gentle Barn in Santa Clarita, and they are everywhere, and they are just beautiful, whimsical, yet they provide enough shade. So I'm considering getting some of those. So we're going to put $40 to our tree sinking fund. We're going to put $100 towards our coop project, because we really want to be able to prepare to get that waterer and feeder for the chickens once the coop is built. And no, you guys, we have not started. Summer was just way too hot. I said we're waiting for it to cool down. We're going to put $40 towards our garden. And then we're going to put $200 into our deductibles. This is so we are prepared if we ever need to file an insurance claim. I know that I get a lot of comments like, I never thought of that. I'm going to add that. I hadn't thought about it in the last few years of our budgeting journey either. So this is definitely a new category for me. But I figured if I ever needed to file an insurance claim, whether it was for the vehicle, for the home, or anything, that deductible may or may not be something I have at the time, right? And I may not want to pull from my emergency fund to fund it. I would rather pull from something that is literally designated just for that. So $200 is going towards that. And then $50 to home improvement, because yeah, I like to upgrade sometimes, or maybe something stops working and we have to replace it. That isn't necessarily what I would consider home maintenance, like we changed pillowcase covers not too long ago, which was not a necessity, but it was something I wanted to do. So this envelope would be something that would cover that. So that totals $1,505 for our sinking funds. And after all that, we're left with $55, which is going into our savings challenges. That's the 52-week savings challenge and my bookmark savings challenge. The money we save through these challenges is going straight toward our 6-month emergency fund. This year, we have already fully funded both of our Roth IRAs. We both contribute to our 401k, and it comes with an employer contribution, which is really good. So I contribute up to what my employer matches. But I also have a pension, so I mean, I'm blessed in that way. And then preparing for our future retirement is really important to me. I personally don't factor in Social Security because I just don't feel like it's a secure system Sorry, Bodhi's barking, not sure why. Sky's handling it. And honestly, it may not even exist by the time I'd qualify. So this brings us to a true zero-based budget for the week. Every single dollar was given a purpose, whether it was for our monthly expenses, long-term sinking funds, or savings challenges. Nothing is left unaccounted for, which means our money is working for us. All right, now let's get into the fun part, cash stuffing these envelopes. We are going to be cash stuffing $1,735 today. The guy at the bank, he did his best to give me the best of what they had. Some of it's pretty good, some of it not so much, but he really tried, and I really appreciated that. So here we go. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000, 1,100, 1,200, 1,250, 1,270, 1,290, 1,310, 1,330, 1,350, 1,370, 1,390, 1,410, 1,430, 1,450, 1,470, 1,490, 1,510, 1,530, 1,550, 1,570, 1,590, 1,610, 1620, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 1670, 1680, 1690, 1700, 10, 20, 35. So 1735. Okay, fabulous. We are going to start in the high priority binder. This is just where we replenish our personal spending. Our groceries and gasoline, we are cashless, so that just is a transfer to another checking account that we all have a card to, so we all have access to it. Okay, so this is my personal spending from last week. I had increased it because we supplemented our weekly income with some of my Etsy money, so it was $150. So I still plan on spending this, but I'm not going to keep it in here. I might actually just move it to my wallet, so I'm going to put it to the side. Okay, sorry, I had to reposition because there's a really bad glare on this side, so I wanted to get rid of that. So we are back to doing our regular 75. So I'm going to go ahead and put 9 5s. And then I did 3 10s. So this should be 75, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 75. Perfect. And then my husband is going to get his normal 100. He hasn't touched his money this week, or this last week. 2, 3, 4, 5. He'll be happy to see this in here. So now he has 250, and that's it for this binder. Okay, we're going to hop into my high priority binder next. Sorry if there is a glare. I updated my bookmark to the midnight flight just because I thought that would be perfect for the season. So we are going to start in our vehicle category. And if you didn't realize, I did launch the new binders as well as some new like dashboards and bookmarks and things like that. You can find it in my Etsy shop. And if you look on top, like when you're there, you could scroll over to the different sections. I did label it Fall Launch 2025. So it should be easy to find. And if you have any questions, send me a message on Etsy and I'd be more than happy to help you. So for vehicle maintenance, we are going to add that 200. I'm super excited because we are going to be doing a cash condensing in the next couple days, which I'm really excited for. Okay, so we're going to add 200. We know that we had 2,000 because I just brought this to 2,000. So now we have 2,200. Okay. Vehicle registration. We did 70, and I just did a 50 and a 20. Okay, so let's see what we have. We have 100, 200, 350, 370, 390, 400, and 32. 432. So we need a little over 1,000 to cover all of our registrations. The next one is not due until February, which we already have enough for, and then the rest aren't due. 2 of them are due in July, and then my daughter's is due in November. So we definitely have time, and we are making solid progress. Roadside assistance is going to get $10. Okay, so now we have 50, 100, and 10, 20, 30, 40, 140. We are almost there. I want to say it's about 155. It might go up just a little bit for the year, and we don't actually have to pay that until May. Okay, Allstate insurance. We are going to go ahead and put $50. So $80. 50, 20, and 10. And let me just make sure I'm doing that right, because I don't want to make a mistake. Yes, that is correct. Okay. So Allstate insurance has 150, 170, 190, 210, 220, 230, and 240. I need about 1,000 by July. Car insurance. Yes, we are skipping this. We don't need to add anything to that right now. Car detailing. We are going to add 25. So this is for both our cars, my husband's and mine. So I'm not really sure how much we need, but we're going to be looking into that soon. So 100, 200, 300, 20, 40, 60, 80, 400, and 15. 415. We want a really decent detail. So I'm assuming that might cost quite a bit. And then for his car, toothless, we're adding 25. That is money that we have in a high yield savings account for OnStar, so I'm going to leave that there separate. Okay, so 150, 170, 190, 210, 230, 250, 275, and 275 for his car. Okay, then we're going to go into the home section, and for home maintenance, because we did use some, we are going to go ahead and add $350. So I just did, let me see. Yeah, three 100s and a 50. Okay. So 5, 6, 7, 800. So 900, 1,000, 1,100, 1,200, 1,300, 1,400, 1,500. 1,550, 1,550, nope. 1,570, 1,580, 1,591. So $1,591. We'll get back to that 2,000 in no time, and then we'll increase it to 3,000, similar to the vehicle maintenance. Okay, earthquake policy. We are going to do 75. So 50, 60, 75. You know, I love cash stuffing. I love dealing with cash. When I was young and played Monopoly, I was always the banker. Like, I love that stuff. And I would set up like a little shop. I would pull up a table. I would go to my parents' room and I would take their stuff, like my dad's tie or my mom's crystals, and I would set up a little shop and I would make them pay me to buy their own stuff back. They did it with real cash too. So I just love this stuff. So for earthquake policy, we now have 150. We need about 900, but not until August of next year. So we're doing well. And then home warranty, we are going to add $30, 20, and a 10. Okay. So now we have 100, 20, 40, 60, 80. So 210. Sorry, sometimes I don't say every number as I'm touching every bill, but in my head it works. And moving right along to pest control, we're going to add a $50 bill. So for pest control, we have 100, 250, 60, 70, 80, 280. I can't remember how much we need. It is changing and it'll probably go up. So when I get closer to that time, I will just reach out and find out and then, you know, add as needed. And then for our septic, we're going to add a $20 bill. So now we have 100, 20, 40, 64, 164. We just had we had our septic pump, but we also had a new leach field created because the other one failed, which I guess they do after like 20 years. So this new one should last us like 20 plus years. And he did recommend, though, instead of pumping once every 2 years, he recommends an annual pump for us. So even though we have $450 saved, we're just going to keep adding more. Like in a high yield savings account, we're just going to keep adding more. Yard maintenance is getting $100, and I just did a $100 bill. So now we have 100, 200, 300, 400, and 35, 43. So 343. Whoops. And then for the trees, we are going to go ahead and add 40. So I just did that by way of 220s. So now we have 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 220. 220. I don't know how much it would cost to add as many trees as we have envisioned. We're just going to play it by ear and purchase as we can. And then for the chicken coop, we are going to go ahead and add another $100 bill. So now we have 100, 200, 300, 450, 475, 476, 477, 478, 479. Okay, and then for the garden, we just went ahead and did 220s. So now we have 160. And then for our trash bill, we're going to add 20. So 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 63. So 163. So that is enough to cover the next bill, and we're already adding for the one after that. That is a quarterly bill. And then trash, $20. So 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40, 60, 70, 85, 185. 145 is the bill. So again, we're already on our way for even the bill after that, or after the next, rather. And then we're going to go into miscellaneous, more of a long-term sinking fund, because I know I can't reach all of our deductibles right away, because I actually still have to kind of do the math to figure out what are our deductibles for the various policies. Like we have our homeowner's insurance, we have our home warranty, we have our earthquake insurance, we have our vehicle policies. So it's like, and then the bike policy. So I just have to figure out what our deductibles are added up, and then that would be the goal. So we have 500 in a high yield savings account. So 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000, 1,200. So we have 1,300 in deductibles. That's awesome, because I know that it's like a $500 deductible for the vehicle. So that tells me that I already have enough to at least, you know, cover a couple deductibles should we needed to make claims for vehicle related stuff. Okay, let me get another binder, because that is where my home improvement was moved to. I took it out of high priority and I did move it to low priority. You guys, I was doing so much talking about the deductibles that I actually didn't cash stuff them. I realized it as I was closing this binder and wondering why I still had $200 over here. That is for deductibles. Yeah, I almost made another mistake. All right, now it is time to go into the low priority binder so that we can add to our home improvement. All right, this is my low priority binder. This is the new Rowan collection in the color Fig. Hopefully it's doing it justice on camera, but someone asked me if it could be considered like burgundy. I don't know. I can't run with that. I think this is definitely more in the purple family for sure. So we're going to go into the actually, no, we're going into the annual, I believe. Did I put it here? No, I didn't. It must be in us. Here we go. All right. Home improvement. That is going to get $50. Perfect. So now we are going to go to our 52-week savings challenge as well as our bookmark savings challenge. All right. This is the 52-week savings challenge, which I may do next year as well. This year is the second year in a row that I've done it. I just don't know. I have some other creations happening, so I may do another type of savings challenge, but I just really love the 52-week savings challenge. It's like you know exactly what you have to set aside, what the goal is. I don't know. It's totally fun. So we will see. But we are going to put $50 for week 47. Technically, how this works is you save the dollar amount for that week. So if you're on week 47, you would save $47. But I like to round up. So we're going to put that in here. And then for the bookmark savings challenge this week, we are going to put $5. So that is going to go into here. All right, thank you so much for joining me for this October budget and cash stuffing. If you found this helpful, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you are new here. Let me know in the comments what you're funding with your paycheck this week or this month if you're paid monthly. And remember, it is not about perfection. It is about progress. It is about using your money intentionally. So until next time, don't forget to breathe. See you later.